Barbara. I'm the supervisor for student and staff services in the district. This is the 6th year that we're going to have been offering these two programs for rising seniors, which is what we consider you to be. So in conjunction with co-op, which is another phenomenal opportunity, these two opportunities, summer original credit and dual enrollment, are only for rising seniors. We consider you to be seniors the day after the last day of your junior year. So it's not the day that you come back in August, it's the day after your last exam year in June. And that being said, we offer summer original credit courses for all of the seniors who are interested in order to get a jump on their senior year and clear out some of their schedule so that they can do dual enrollment, or they can co-op more, or they can take other courses that they wanted to take but couldn't fit into their schedule. And then dual enrollment is the ability for you to take college courses that we will pay for, that you can transfer anywhere in your senior year. So those are the two opportunities I'm going to talk about today. You're going to be getting 3 documents when you leave here. One is a contract for summer original credit. One is a contract for dual enrollment. So don't mix them up. They're different colors. They have to be filled out and signed, completely filled out and signed, and given back to the guidance department on or before April 1st. So you have between today and April 1st to decide whether you want to do one or both of these programs, and those contracts have to go back to guidance. We're not accepting any applications or any contracts after April 1st. And I'm going to ask that St. George's contact your parents and your guardians after this presentation with an all-call, letting them know that you were in this presentation today and the documentation came home, because it's going to be coming home with you regarding the 2 programs. The 3rd document is a 2-sided information sheet. So everything that I'm going to say today about original credit, everything I'm going to say today about dual enrollment is on this paper. So if you mishear something that I've said, or you have some questions that you think about once you leave here, my email address is on that information form. So please email me and I will get back to you immediately. So, questions, I'm not going to take any questions until the very end. So if you have any questions, save them to the end, or like I said, you'll be able to email me a question at any time and I'll get right back to you. All right, so let's start with summer original credit. We have regular summer school, which hopefully none of you will have to partake of, but in addition to that regular credit recovery summer school that we run at Del Castle that costs $300 a course, so if you've got courses to make up, you have to come and you've got to sit for 14 days in the summer. This is entirely different. Original credit are online courses that we offer only for rising seniors, and you get to take them for free. We pay for the licenses, and we have teachers that are associated with these courses, so that even though you're going to be teaching yourself a new course by yourself without a teacher in front of you, you're going to have to read, and you're going to have to listen, and you're going to have to watch videos, you're going to have to take quizzes and tests. You're going to have a teacher that will be available for you to email or to come in and get face-to-face help during the 8-week period that the courses are offered. But the bottom line is you're going to be teaching yourself new content. So, here are the courses that you can take. Here are the ones that are available. We've got Spanish 2 and Spanish 3. We have U.S. history and world history. We offer U.S. history because we have, in some of the other buildings, we have health careers students, typically the nurse tech, who don't get to take U.S. history in their junior year because they're doing their clinical hours. So at Del Castle and at Hodson, they don't get U.S. history in their junior year, so we give them the opportunity to take it in the summer and clear that out of their schedule so they're not taking a junior course in their senior year. And we also offer the world history course, which many four-year colleges like to see on a transcript. We offer physics, we offer 2 maths, senior math and pre-calc. And we offer health and phys ed for students who transferred into our building after freshman year and may not have had the opportunity to take health or phys ed in the building that they were coming from. So those are the courses that you can take. There is no minimum GPA requirement for these courses. So anyone who is on track to graduate is allowed to take these courses. And when I say on track to graduate, I mean you cannot have an outstanding failure that you have not made up yet. So if you failed physical science in freshman year, and now you're going to be going into your senior year and you haven't made it up yet, then you cannot take these courses. So these are for people that are on track to graduate with no outstanding failure. And you're going to take them at home on your own computer, on your own devices, but you also have to come to Del Castle at the end of every unit to test. So this is important for you to understand that your transportation needs this summer are going to affect whether you can take these courses or not. So I remember I had a St. George's student last year who emailed me and said, I'm going to be living at the beach all summer. Are you telling me that I'm going to have to drive up every time I get to the end of a unit to Del Castle so that I can take the test at the end of the unit before I can move on? And my answer was, yes. That's how the courses are set up. So there's between 6 and 10 units per course. So when you get to the end of, say, let me start. Unit 1 is going to be open for everybody. So you don't have to test after Unit 1. So we open that for you. So you're going to be taking all the quizzes, teaching yourself the content, doing it on your own. You take the quizzes, they're multiple choice, all the assessments, quizzes and tests are multiple choice. So you get to the end of Unit 1, it's going to say, okay, it's time to test. So the Unit 1 test will open up for you, you take the Unit 1 test. When you're done with that, Unit 2 will open up. You can't jump around, you can't move ahead until you've taken the test at the end of the unit. So then you complete Unit 2, you're taking the quizzes, you get to the end of Unit 2, it's going to lock you out. It's going to say you now have to go and test. This is a proctored activity is exactly what it says. That means you've got to come to Del Castle. We're open Monday through Thursday, 8 to 4, in order to test. You come in, you give us your name, we look you up in eSchool, look at your picture, make sure you are who you say you are. You tell us what course, what school, what course, what unit. We open the unit for you and you take it in front of us. You can't have any notes, you can't have any papers, you can't have your phone, you cannot have any digital device, you can't have anything in front of you. Put you on a computer, we open up the test, you take the test. When the test is over, the next unit will automatically open up. And then you leave, and then you come back whenever you're done with the next unit. So you're going to be doing this at home, or wherever you're going to be, wherever you're going to have a device, whether it's a laptop or a desktop. If you're going to try to do it on your phone, I think you're going to find that it's very difficult because there are practice guides, there are study sheets, there are things you want to be able to print out in order to use them while you're taking the quizzes. You can't use them during the test, but they definitely help you during the quizzes. There's no homework to hand in, there are no assignments you email in, everything is quizzes and tests. There are practices for you to do and study guides for you to complete in order to prepare you for the assessments. But there is no homework per se in these courses. It's all multiple choice quizzes and tests. The courses are going to run from June 10th to August 1st. August 1st at 4 o'clock, we lock them, you're done. So if you haven't finished the course by that date and time, whatever you didn't finish goes in as a 0. So that gets calculated into the grade. And these courses are just like regular senior courses. They go on your transcript, they calculate into your GPA. So you will see them on your senior transcript. You can take 2 at a time. When you get the contract, you'll see you can choose 2 courses if you want to start with. And you've got until June 28th, which is a really important date. June 28th is the drop-add date. It's very much like a college drop-add date. You have up until that date. So if you started on the 10th, you'd have 18 days to decide whether this is something that you can do, that you're good at, that you're comfortable with, that your transportation is going to work with. If you're going on vacation, if you've got a job, you've got to consider the time frame and you've got to consider the 8-week period. So if you want to take a vacation in the middle of everything, that's fine. But when you come back, you haven't gotten any further. Because unless you've tested at the end of the unit in front of us, then you can't move on. So everybody's summer is different, and you all have different schedules. So you've got to consider whether this is something that, number one, you want to do, and number two, you can make happen based on what schedule you're going to have this summer. So by June 28th, you can drop or you can add courses But after June 28th, whatever you're in, whatever you're taking, it's going on your transcript. So if you try, you say I want to take pre-calc and physics, and you start both courses and you say, you know what, the pre-calc is hard, I think I just want to do the pre-calc. All you have to do is email me, I drop the physics, it's as if you never took it. So it will not show up on your transcript anywhere. In fact, you could drop both of them and tell me, look, you don't even have to give me an excuse. Up to June 28th, you can just say, please drop me from the program, and I will take you out, and it will be as if you were never in the program, so there'll be no sign of it on your transcript. And you can add a course, or you can change courses up until June 28th. After June 28th, everything that you're in and everything that you're doing is going on your transcript. Now, there are certain characteristics, even though there's no prerequisites or qualifications other than being on track to graduate, there are certain personality traits that you should have in order to be successful in an online course where you're teaching yourself the content. You have to be self-disciplined, self-reliant, and self-motivated because nobody's going to be pushing you. I'm going to be emailing you every week, and I'm going to be copying your parents and guardians on every email I send you. And so those two things are essential for the course. You have to have a working email, and your parents have to have a working email. But that's the only push you're going to get other than the timeline to finish by August 1st. We had students finish courses in 2 weeks because that's all they did at home. They just worked on the courses. They would come in some cases twice a day to test. You cannot come in and stay. You have to come in, test, and go because we have hundreds of students who are taking these courses. So we've had them do it in 2 weeks because we've had students who said, I want to have the rest of my summer free. I know I can knock this out in 2 weeks, I'm going to get it done. And that's all they concentrated on. They came in between 8 and 4, Monday through Thursday, and they got it done. But we've had students who took up until the last minute on the last day. They were there at 3:59 on the very last day, and that's fine too. Everybody is different. This is all self-paced. This is an opportunity for you to take responsibility for your learning and learn what it's like to work in an online course. Because if you are going to college, trust me, you're going to be in an online course. Because that's just the direction colleges are going. Even if it's a face-to-face class, there's always going to be an online component to it. So this is a way to get comfortable with that as well. So you need your time management skills. I'm sure all of you are comfortable with online learning because you've got your own computers and the whole one-to-one and Schoology, and you're used to working online. So I'm not worried about that, but you have to also have the ability to read and follow written instruction because again, you're teaching yourself this content from online courses. So you have 8 weeks to teach yourself the course. You read the content, practice the skills, and take the quizzes at home. At the end of every unit, you come to Delcastle to test before you can move on to the next unit, and there are no exceptions. So don't tell me, please don't send me an email and say, we've decided to go to Puerto Rico for a month. Can you please open up the next 4 units for me? Because the answer is going to be no. You're going to sign a contract to this effect, that after June 28th, all bets are off, it's on your transcript. Courses range from 6 units to 10 units. All the quizzes and tests are multiple choice. What we do is we set it up so that you've got 3 tries to get a 70 on the assessment. So if let's say you take the first quiz and you get a 40% on it, it will automatically reset with new questions and allow you to take it again. If you still don't get a 70, it will do it one more time for you with new questions, and then so you get a 3rd shot at it. Same thing with the test. The only thing to remember is once you hit a 70, it knows to move you on. So if you get a 70 the first time you take the quiz, it's moved you on. So you can't go back and retake it for a higher grade. So don't email me and say, Ms. Barbara, I got a 70 on this quiz, but I know if I take it again, I'm going to get a 90 or 100 on it. Once you get a 70, it moves you forward. You can drop the course or add courses up to June 28th. Like I said, it's going to be calculated in your GPA after the first marking period of your senior year. And if it's a course that's required for graduation, then your counselors, we need to let them know right away so that they can schedule you for the course. So for example, if you're taking senior math, you have to have a math in your senior year. So if if you're failing it or you drop out of it, we have to let your counselors know so that they can put you in a course. There are technology requirements in that you should have a solid internet connection so that you don't lose the signal in the middle of a quiz, because then it will lock you out. You have to be able to get to Del Castle's library regularly for testing, Monday through Thursday, 8 to 4. We're closed Friday, Saturday, Sundays, and the 4th of July. You have to have a working email, and I would suggest you not use your district email. I would suggest you use a personal email, a Gmail account, or a Hotmail, or an MSN, some kind of an account that you know you will check on a regular basis, because I'm going to be emailing you documents and reminders constantly. And your parents need to have one as well. There are special requirements for the phys ed course. I don't know if any of you in here are going to have to take the phys ed because you didn't take it in freshman year, but there are. It's not just an online course. There are exercise routines and signed forms that have to be handed in. Phys ed is a little different. As I said, you get 3 tries to earn a 70. You can't have a phone or other digital device with you at the computer. When you're taking the test with us at Del Castle, you can't have any papers with you. You can only come in to test. You cannot remain in the library to work on the course unless you're going to work with the teacher and get some one-on-one tutoring. Like, for example, if you're taking pre-calc and you want to get some extra help, all you have to do is email the teacher and say, when are you going to be in the Del Castle library? And then that teacher will tell you his schedule, and you can come in and you can work with him. All of the teachers associated with these courses are district teachers. Most of them are Del Castle teachers. All right, so if you're interested, you're going to take the contract, which is yellow, for the summer. You're going to fill it out. You're going to have your parents fill it out. You're going to talk about it at home. You're going to take the information sheet. You're going to explain it to your parents. They can read the information sheet. If they have any questions, or if you have any questions, all you have to do is email me and I'll get right back to you. You've got nothing to lose by signing up for this, because you can drop it by June 28th. But if you think you might be interested, you're going to fill it out. You're going to bring it in by or on April 1st to guidance, and then you'll be contacted. I'll be back in the beginning of June for everybody who signed up to give you an orientation, to give you the login and passwords, and get you ready to start the courses. And we'll start the courses, probably before the 10th of June, so you might have a couple extra days. But the first testing day, when you can actually come in and test at the end of the unit, would be on the 17th of June at Del Castle. But remember, the first unit for every course is going to be open. So you won't have to come in and test until after the second unit. You should also know that I'm going to be watching your progress every day in the courses, and flags will come up for me when a student is not active in the courses. So if by the 28th of June, the drop add day, if I see that you have not done at least one unit, you haven't completed one unit, you'll be dropped from the program. So you'll get an email, an automatic email that will say you're being dropped due to inactivity in the course. Inevitably, there are people who contact me and say, wait, in Scarborough, we went on vacation right after school got out. We're back now, and I'm in, I promise. And I'll say to you, well, it's going to be after June 28th, so if you jump in it now, you cannot drop it later. So these are just things you have to remember. It's very much like a college drop add situation where after a certain date you lose money. In this case, the drop add date means it's going on your transcript. So that's some original credit. Now, let me talk about dual enrollment. Dual enrollment means that eligible students can take college courses in place of high school courses and get credit for both. So if you take a college English with us in the dual enrollment program, it counts for your 12th grade English. The nice thing about all the dual enrollment courses are that they give you the GPA bump. So every dual enrollment course that we offer with Del Tech, in a partnership with Del Tech, you get a GPA bump for regardless of what it is. So that's something to think about as well. But it does go on your transcript, so you'll have a college transcript that you can take with you and transfer the courses if you're not going to Del Tech. And you'll also have our NCCVT transcript, which has the college courses on there. Now, there are prerequisites. You have to have a 3.2 cumulative GPA by the end of your junior year. So 3.2 at the end of this year. So if you're really on the line right now and you want to do this, make sure you have a really good end of the third marking period and a really strong fourth marking period so that you can make it. You also have to have taken the SAT test. We don't look at the scores to determine whether you're eligible or not, but we look at the scores later on when you're choosing your courses. So what might be best for you. And you cannot have any outstanding failures. Again, like the other course, if you still got a course you failed, that you have not made up yet in summer school, then you can't do dual enrollment unless you take it this summer and get it out of the way. So, you're going to take the college courses for free during the day. If you have transportation, you can drive yourself. You fill out a form, your parents sign it, and then just like co-op, you can transport yourself to Del Tech Stanton campus and back if you need to come back on the days. Courses are Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday. You can take up to 2 courses a semester if you can fit it in your schedule. So by the end of graduate, by the time you graduate from here, you could have 4 college courses, that's 12 credits or more, depending on whether you take a math course, that we've paid for that you can transfer anywhere. And if you're going to use the SEED program at Del Tech and go there for several years for free, that's a terrific deal because these courses are requirements for many of the programs there. And we weight them on your transcript, and we give you both the high school and we give you the college credit. One thing about transporting yourself, we do not condone carpooling. So you cannot drive another person to Del Tech with you. It's 1 person per vehicle per permission to drive yourself to Del Tech. These are the courses you can take. You can take Intro to Business. You can take a variety of math courses. You can take Sociology, Psychology, Intro to Criminal Justice. You can take English, and you can take Intro to Medical Terminology. So, they're free during the day at Del Tech with us. We provide the transportation. If you're not driving yourself, we have a bus. The bus goes after lunch, gets you back here in time for the buses at the end of the day. So you will not miss out on that. And again, like I said, you can take 2 courses a semester if you're up for the challenge of taking 2 college courses, while at the same time having to handle anything you're still responsible for here. Now, there are some students that because, let's say, their parents work for another school, like Wilmington University, and they can take courses there for free. Or you're going to do something this summer, maybe at Del State or at the University of Delaware. But you want to get them counted as dual enrollment courses, even though it's not in our program. There's a form you can fill out that guidance can give you, where you can get pre-approval for these college courses, and we will put them on your transcript, and we will give you the college bump for your GPA, but you have to pay for them yourself, and the transportation is on you. So we will do the dual enrollment part of it, but you have to pay for it yourself. And they can't be remedial courses. They have to be courses that count for credit. So we pay for everything. So we pay, the district pays hundreds of thousands of dollars a year to send our students to Del Tech for these courses. We pay for all the fees, we pay for your books, and now you don't even have to give the books back. You can keep the books. So you can take notes in the textbook, you can highlight the textbooks. Many colleges, and Del Tech in particular, are going more towards online sources and going towards disposable texts or consumable texts, so they're not hardcover. You get a stack that goes inside a binder. You get a 3-ring binder and put them in. So they don't take them back anymore for money back. But so you can keep them, you can take notes in them. You don't have to give back. There's no expense to you. We handle everything, including the transportation. So, what if you don't like it? What if you start dual enrollment, you thought this was a great idea, you start the courses and you realize this is not something that I like. You have 1 week, this is Del Tech, you have 1 week to drop the course without penalty. So the courses start on Monday, their typical drop date is that Saturday. So you will have taken at least 2 courses. If you're taking 1, it would be maybe a Monday, Wednesday, or a Tuesday, Thursday, or you're taking 2 courses, you've been there all week. You should know whether it's something that you can handle or not. So if you drop it by that date, and you have to contact LTAC, and you've got to contact your counselor in order to drop, then you're fine and there's no penalty. If, however, you drop after the first week, you have to pay us back for the tuition, the fees, and the books, which is over $1,000. So, you want to drop in the first year.
It's happened before. People
It happens every
put on arrears for
it happens every year. It happens every year. All right, if you co-op, what if you want to co-op and do dual enrollment? Hopefully, Mr. Williams, who is the phenomenal co-op coordinator for St. George's, can work with some of your employers to see if they'll be flexible enough to let you do both. And we have had employers who have allowed that. So it all depends on your employer and what courses you want to take and what the schedule would be. You can take two at once. If you take a course in the fall and you want to take one in the spring, you have to have at least earned a B in the fall in order to take a course in the spring. If you fail the course, it goes on our transcript as a failure, and it goes on your college transcript as a failure. And this is something that like high school students don't think about. You're living in the kinder, gentler grading scale kind of world where you can get a 60 and pass. Every college has a different grading scale, and they're a lot harder than that. And at Del Tech is a prime example. To Del Tech, passing is a 75. So if you get a 74, you fail. So a 74 for us is a C. A 74 at Del Tech is a 59 to us. And that's what goes on your transcript of 59. So you've got to understand, wherever you go to college, your grading scale is not going to be as forgiving as the grading scale of the public schools in the state of Delaware use. If you don't have transportation, we get you there and back. And like I said, if you want to take a course second semester, earn at least a B in the first semester. Same rules apply if you're interested in this program. You're going to have a contract, it's navy blue and tan. You're going to fill it out. You're going to look at the information sheet. If you need any more information, you're going to take it home because your parents have to sign it, and you're going to get it back to guidance by before or on April 1st, and then you'll be contacted by your counselor, and Del Tech will come in the building on May and do the registration for you. Question? Yes?
I don't really understand why we can't carpool to
It's an insurance issue because you are technically still, even though you're off campus, you're our responsibility, and insurance-wise, you can't. Yeah.
During the beginning of the presentation, you mentioned only being able to take one or two summer courses at a time. If I completed those two summer courses in the first half, am I allowed to take those four?
Absolutely. Anybody who wants to take a third or a fourth course during the summer, once you've shown me that you're progressing fine and you're having no problem with it, all you have to do is email me. Everything will be determined on an individual basis, and then I can add whatever you need to add. What? Yeah. You need to add before the 28th for the second course, if you're going to have two courses. People who want to take more than two, again, you're going to email me after the 28th is over. I look and I see how you're doing. If you're close to completion, no problem. But you can't take three at one time unless I've seen you already doing well in two. But everything in summer and original credit needs to come through me. Yeah.
Why is this not a course?
Because there's so much writing in the summer course, you mean? There's so much writing involved with it, and we have so many students. We have like 400 and some students taking these courses. We don't have enough teachers in the summer that they would be able to read and correct all the essays. The Apex courses are set up as, it's all multiple choice quizzes and tests. So it's much more of a content-driven, not a skill-driven. That's a good question. But if you're eligible for dual enrollment, if you took it at Del Tech, then you wouldn't have to take it here. Yes?
So for the summer courses, we can't send applicants at all and do the eligibility because the seniors will be actually not there. and like sitting in it, and our teachers have to do comments.
We don't allow that.
So there's like, we can't like sit in our car and do it, and then.
Oh, I don't care where you sit as long as you're not in Delcas, well, sure. Yeah.
What's the math?
The math dual enrollment is they offer college algebra, statistics, pre-calc, and calc. So depending on where you are and how good you are in math, I will say this about the college math courses. Our students struggle with the college math courses. So unless you are really, really strong in math, you want to think about maybe taking the college algebra or the statistics, not the pre-calc or the calculus in college. But everybody's different. Yes.
Guys, we're almost there.
They do. No, anywhere you want to go. We picked courses that were transferable anywhere. Okay? All right, I'm not going to take any more questions. If you have a question, you're going to have my email address, and you'll be able to email me. Thank you.